Hey you guys, so to me I would say this is like a random video. I wasn't gonna post back for like another week or so. You guys know my schedule, but like today as I was in the bathroom, I was just like reflecting over the last couple of years of my life. I want to say like the last 3 years, and just thanking God for like my seasons and my times and journeys, even when I didn't understand. I just was thanking him for different things and just started praising him. Then I took my shower and stuff. I hope that's not TMI or whatever. So when I got out, he was like showing me, like, you should do a video. And I was kind of like, because not all of my testimony, but a lot of it I have already shared over the last 4 years. Some of them has been small, it's been some different videos, and some of them has been on the lines or whatever. So I was like, well, God, and he was like, there's a lot more that you can share, and there's some you can still share. Glorify me because sorry guys, the scripture that he kept showing me was we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And he was like, you should share your testimonies like in one setting, because a lot of them are in different videos mixed up over the years. So he's like, you should do some of them in one setting. I guess the ones I feel comfortable with, and even some of them I don't. I don't have to share all of them, but just some, because he was like really showing me like it will bless somebody and encourage them. Like it'll encourage someone in their testimony and their faith to share their testimony, or to just encourage them. So I guess I'll just go with as he's leading. Like I said, it's a lot, so I'll just try to condense it. And if y'all hear my son in the back, this is, like I said, it's a random video. So, but anyways, I guess I'll start back and then kind of come up. So there's some different things of God that I've seen that he's done. It has definitely been protection, protecting me even from, being in my childhood. I'm just be obedient and just release. So like childhood, rape, childhood abuse, not from everyone, but from certain family members and certain people, even being older, and he just protected me, from a lot. When my dad got locked up, that changed a lot. Even though when he was out, it was a lot for us too. But I can honestly say, like, our family cared for us. My mom was there for us. My dad was there the best way he could be. And like my grandmother and our family, certain family, they really was there for us. And I thank God for that. But we seen a lot as children. And one of my earlier memories is, and another thing, guys, that God has taught me how to be over the years is vulnerable. Because he was like, because I'm a very private person, I only like kind of share with who's really close to me that I really trust, or I just keep it in, just be between me and God. There's a lot of things I haven't shared with anyone. It's just really between me and him. But he taught me that with the channel, it's okay to be vulnerable to help bless someone else. And I've learned that a lot of times my vulnerability help people, because it's like we all can relate and we all human or whatever. So I remember one time, I think I had shared this with you guys. I don't know if my dad was locked up yet or not. You guys know my dad was in prison for like over 20 something years. He got released a couple years back, and his life has changed. Even when he was locked up, his life has changed, and everything. And God spared him, and I thank God for that, because he could have been out in the street and God took his life, but God spared him. And I have 3 brothers, 3 sisters. I'm the oldest girl, so we have a big family, a lot of nieces and nephews. But I remember one time there's this park we used to play at across from my grandma's house, my great grandma's house. And it was a shootout, and my mom's friend, I forgot her name, but she was my mom's friend. It's like it was like a demonic thing on this boy. He was a young boy, and we were all playing at this park. It was a park in like the neighborhood. When we go over to grandma's house, that's the park we all played at. And it's still there today, but it's not the same. Like, they didn't remodel it, rebuilt it. It looks very nice, but like for us, that was our childhood park. And I remember all of us was out playing like a normal day, and this boy came from the west side, from by the pool. There's basketball courts, play area, swings, pool slide, and then the pool side is all the way on that side. And this guy, he was like a young boy. Well, I was little. I want to say I was probably like maybe, how old was I? I want to say I was like maybe 6 or 7. I think my dad got locked up when I was 8. I want to say. So I probably had to be between like 5 and 7 or less than 7. I was a little girl, a little skinny little girl. I remember this day. And the boy came out of nowhere. I think he was from the neighborhood too. But it's like it was a demon on him because he just came and just started shooting. He had the gun straight. He just started shooting random. And my mom friend was behind me. And when he just started shooting, which that was not abnormal, not saying anybody should be used to that, but in some places that's just, he just started shooting, y'all. I'm talking about kids playing some normal days, bright out, everybody's fine. He started shooting, like no target in particular. And my mom friend was behind me because it's like he had the gun in one direction, then he was moving it, and then he moved it towards me. And my mom friend was a little gate you go through the sidewalk, then you're like by the houses. My mom friend, she pushed me out the way. She said, run. She said, run. She said, run to your grandma's house, because my grandma's house was right across the street. And so my family is looking like, what is going on? And they screaming to me like, run to grandma's house. But I'm shocked because she pushed me out the way. She pushed me and she said, run. And I'm like within so many less than feet of her. And he shot her in her ankle and she fell. And I was so scared because I'm like, oh my God, like I wanted to help her, but like, what can I do? And I'm in shock with them running, telling me, run. The boy's still standing there. He just staring. I don't know if he shot other people, but the lady got hit in her leg, like her ankle, and she fell. And even when she fell, she pushed me. And I can hear the pain in her voice, but she pushed me and she said, run. So I ran, crossed the street. They got me and closed the door. And I really don't remember other events after that. But that was a supernatural act of God. There were times where like our home, we'd be moving from place to place and, police would come and God covered us with that. And just like accidents on the road, when we were little, like on 95 or just certain things, God covered us. I remember one time I got the worst whooping of my life because I was trying to do what I seen on TV. I was a little bit older. This was after my dad had left. I was trying to drive. I was like, because I was a very curious child. And some people say I was a very rebellious child, but I don't think I was rebellious. I just think I went through certain things that I didn't know God in the way at that time. And it's like I was acting out. But pretty much I would say I was not that, maybe to my teenagers or whatever. So, anyway, I had wanted to drive. I was really little. I was less than like 9, I think, at this time. And I was like, I want to drive. And my mom had us in the car. She had went in really quick. She was going to come right back. But to me, it felt like it was a long time, but it was probably a few minutes. She went into a family member. My dad had left at this time. And so it was me and my sister in the car. My sister that's right up underneath me. And I was just like getting hot. I was getting bored. Like I had to watch her because, as the oldest, you have a lot of responsibility. You have to watch your siblings and you grow up fast. Not for everybody, but in my case, you do. And you go through different things where you get more independent quicker, you mature quicker, just different things. So people will be talking to me like, you this age, but I feel like I'm talking to an adult, just different things, other different things I had went through. So I don't know why I did this, but and I didn't know what I was doing, but for some odd reason, I got down because I couldn't see. Even if I sat in the car, my foot couldn't hit the brake or gas. And I just got down. I will remember why. It's not funny, but it's funny now looking back, but it's really not funny though, but you look back and, I just got the gear. I would watch my mom as she was driving. I would watch where we were. Like I know where I'm at, wherever I'm driving or whoever driving or whatever. I just watch her like with the gear. So I will remember like, okay, I know I pushed this down and I said, okay, here's what I can do. This is what I said in my mind. I said, I'm going to get all the way down beneath the steering wheel. I'm going to push. I was going to push the brake and then do the the gear. But I ended up, instead of putting it like that, I don't know what I thought if I was putting it in neutral or what, I ended up putting it in reverse and backing up. And there was a car coming, guys, that I almost had a crash. So my mom came out and everybody came out and they was like, what is going on? She was like really upset. I got a really bad whooping. I mean, I got the skin toe off me that night. They had to tell her like, calm down she was like, she has no business doing that, because I had my sister in the car. It scared her. And I didn't know what I was doing. I just was curious. But that was another supernatural act for God, because that person could have been hurt. We could have been hurt. You know what I mean? And I don't know how we got the car to stop. I don't know if I got scared and I put it back in gear or what. But that was another supernatural act of God. I'm trying to kind of see, because I'm kind of like, God, with these things, but kind of just coming up. God protected us from so much evil. He covered us with his protection. My grandma, she pretty much raised us. My mom did too, but my grandma, my grandma, who was murdered a couple years back, she raised us in the word. So like, even when we got older and we strayed and went through different things and was questioning God, whatever, that seed that she had put in us didn't leave, and like other family members' seeds of the Bible didn't leave. So I thank God for that. I'm trying to kind of push it up. Like I said, there's a lot of childhood things that I don't want to talk about. God didn't heal and deliver me from it, but some of it I just don't feel led to talk about that we went through. We had a lot of good things in our childhood, but a lot of things we didn't. I thank God for his protection with heartache and heartbreak. I thank God with his protection against suicidal thoughts. Now I'm trying to move up into teenage years, guys. I'm 31. I'll be 32 in September. So I'm trying to kind of move up, because I done been through so much, like I'm sure many of you have. I thank God for his angelic protection. I thank him for covering me through school and being able to graduate. I thank God for keeping me from diseases. I thank God for the prayers of intercessory prayers, people that was praying for me when I wasn't thinking about God, when I didn't want nothing to do with church. When I was blinded to the world, God kept me. God would send me angelic visitations and encounters. God would speak to people. God would show them dreams and give it to me. I just thank God for his blessings of being filled with the Holy Ghost, and, being connected in certain seasons to certain people in churches at the times that I was, because that helped me to grow. But also what really helped me to grow was just my walk with God. It mostly, that private, intimate time of digging in the word with just me and him, and praying at home and getting in the Bible. And that's how I learned more of him than inside of a church. Excuse me, to be honest, because a lot of people be like, well, did you go to school, or did you sit up? And to be honest, no, it's Holy Spirit. It's who he led me to glean from. And I'm going to be honest, like 95% of it, even though I thank God for the certain ministries that he led me to over time, it's just that intimate time with him. The prayers, the fasting, the worship, and to get in the word, the discernment, all of that helped. And it was years and years, and I'm still learning. And there was even one time, me and a family member, I was at work. I'm not sure if I was pregnant at this time or not, because you guys know I have had multiple miscarriages. But I was pregnant with my son, I believe, at this time. And I was working. I believe I knew I was pregnant at this time, because like my first month, I didn't know, whatever. And it was me and this other family member in the car. And it was this lady. And she was an angel also. She was an angel. And I had angelic visitations before this, and I was saved at this time, like newly saved, a couple years in. And the lady came and asked the family member, like, do they have something to spare? And this person is like me, like will give, So I gave or whatever. Not I gave. I'm thinking about I just gave somebody the other day, but this was years ago. So she gave, and it was cold out, because it was like winter time. Even though I'm in Florida and it's hot, when it's winter time, it can be really cold. And so she gave it to her, and then the lady went off. And like less than 5 seconds later, she was like, oh, wait, let me see. Do she need a ride? Like just somewhere close. Because like where we were, it was an open parking lot where I worked. I worked in the store or whatever. And it was an open parking lot. And it was dark. It was laid out. Not late, but it was late for the lady to be walking. And so she was like, I'm talking about less than 10 seconds later, y'all. She was like, oh, let me go ask her, do she want to ride up there? And a lot of people say, well, that's dangerous. It is, but like when you have God's spirit, he'll let you know yay or nay. So it's not nothing like crazy like that. And we could tell this lady wasn't evil or possessed or on drugs and nothing like that. So less than 10 seconds later, she was like, wait, let me ask her, do she need a ride? Like to the next street or to the light or something, just to get out of the plaza so she could be in some light. And when we opened the door and looked, we could not find that lady nowhere. And I'm talking about this parking lot is so big, she couldn't have run or walked nowhere in them 10 seconds. She only would have been a few 100 feet away from the car, if that. Excuse me, guys. Let me get some water. So We believe that was an angel. And then, like I said, I've shared this before, I've had multiple angelic encounters, especially when I wasn't saved, and a lot of when I was saved, because I have them a lot as well. But when I wasn't saved, God sent one. I told you guys I was in the middle of having sex with this person or whatever from years back, and he sent an angel, because I was watching Golden Girls. I love that show, and I was watching that, and this person would be in and out the streets, in and out or whatever. And we were, doing what we weren't supposed to be doing. And I remember it was dark, like the room, the lights was off, but it was dark. It wasn't the normal darkness, and I saw this, and the TV light was on. I could have turned on the light, but even when I turned on the light, it's like it still felt dark. You know what I mean? That's how like there has been a big change or whatever. And God really, delivered me from a lot of different things, because I had my grandpa and I had my stepdad and different things like that. But it's like, I didn't have my dad. So, that does something to you. Like, I was dealing with a lot of abandonment and rejection. Although I had love for my family, it's like that father's love. And like my relationship with my dad, like, was off and on over the years, but I love him, and I still do. But it wasn't like consistent, But I thank God for showing me like his love as a heavenly father and different things. So I'm not putting it on that, but it's like that affected me, not only me, but it affected my brothers, it affected my sisters, But thank God for healing and deliverance. And trust me, we could have been worse off, and God has really blessed us. And I just thank God, because we all in like good places. It could be so much worse, considering like different things. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, this bright light appeared, and I noticed it when the TV light, it was so bright that it hooked me out of what I was physically feeling to look at the bright light, and it was an angel. And I didn't feel freaked out about it or nothing, and it's like I could hear him, I could hear me, but I'm hearing the voice. I shared this with you guys years ago. The voice say, it was like, get off of him. It was like, get off of him. God is calling you. It was like, if you don't get off of him, you're going to feel the worst pain you ever felt in your life. In the morning, it was telling me like, God is giving me a chance, and like, get off of him. God's trying to change your life. That was the encounter. Yes. The next day when I went to the bathroom because I had to go to work, I felt the worst pain I ever had felt in my life. I ended up having to go to the hospital, and so many things were shifting. I ended up losing a child from this person. It was my first miscarriage. This is going back years ago before I got saved. Even while I was on the same job, I met who I thought was a homeless man, but it was an angel. And I was frustrated. I told you guys this. I was frustrated at the job. I was there for a lot of years. I was just frustrated with like the TL and some of the people. Not all of them, because I had some friends on the job, but some of them were like jealous and different things. And my goal was, I didn't even want to be on the job, but I ended up there for a while, because I wasn't saved, and I was big. Like back then, I was big. I was a kind person. I was nice, but I was big into money. I was big into material possessions. I was big into being in control. I was big into sex. I was big into relationships. I was big into independence. I was big into all that. I was a totally different person, and God has totally transformed me, and I thank God for that. Not saying I'm perfect, but I'm definitely not the person y'all see today. And I've had hiccups between then and now, but I'm definitely not who y'all, I'm definitely not. So anyway, so I ended up going to lunch early or whatever, and there was a homeless person who I thought, but it was actually an angel, and I was trying to give them my food, and they wait till I got to a certain part of the building where I worked, and it's like they looked at me, and I could tell they were angel. That their eyes were piercing blue. So their eyes were like a piercing blue. And I had never seen nobody eyes, excuse me guys about the AC, I had never seen nobody eyes like this before. And the angel turned to me and was like, God has been giving you chances. Because God would send people to me to like tell me like they had certain dreams about me. Like they had a dream that I was shot up because of the boyfriend that I was with at the time, and different people I used to hang around. They had a dream that I got in a car accident and I passed. They would just say this, but I would like look at them and roll my eyes and be like, yeah, whatever. Cause I didn't care. I was blinded. But it was one dream that got me. when they told me, and I had been seeing that, so that was a confirmation. So they had scared me because I was like, how would they know? And I didn't share with them that, but they were really into God, and God was trying to draw my attention. So God was sending me all these signs, all these confirmations, showing me things in my face, just different red flags, all these different things, whatever. And let me try to just finish this up. So anyway, the angel was like, I need to get saved. God loves me. I know better. Like, God, I know the way, like how my grandma taught us, because my grandma would teach us the book of Revelation. Me and my sister, she'll tell you the book of Revelation when we were little. She would teach us about heaven and hell. She would teach us that Jesus loved us. She was so straight with us. She was straight with us about boys. She was straight with us about different things. I remember one time my mom, she was like pranker, because I done had ups and downs with my grandma too, but I wish she was still here today, because that's like a mom. She's like my mom, even though my mom is my mom, and me and my mom is close, and we've gotten closer over the years, and we close. But my grandma is like, I love my grandma. So I remember one time my mom, she was like pranker. So she had bought this, magnetic thing. Like, I got my lips pierced, because when I was 18, I wanted my eyebrows pierced, I wanted my tongue pierced, I wanted my lip pierced. I just wanted all them things, and I'm glad I didn't get it. Not judging anyone who has. There's no judgment, because God loved different people, and there's people that got tattoos. I got tattoos and piercings that mow on fire for God, and people that don't. So I'm not saying that, but anyway, she had said let's prank her, so we got a magnetic thing. She was washing the dishes, and I came in the house. We was just coming to say hey, and she was like, talk to her to try to get her to see it. And I was talking to her, and she looked at me, and she was like, what is this thing on your lip? And she probably didn't know if it was real or not, but she had her soapy hands, and she pulled it out, and I started laughing. I was like, what if it was real? She was like, I don't care if it was real, not to have those different things and stuff. And we started laughing, and she didn't think it was funny at all. She was very upset. She was like, I don't think this is a good prank that y'all did, because sometimes we would do that. We would like want to prank her or my mom, but it never worked on my mom. I don't know why. And her birthday is on April Fool's. It just never did. So I think I just stopped doing it over the years. And then, like, I don't like people doing it to me so much, because my son is a big pranker. So I don't know, unless it's healthy. But if it's like scaring you and all that, I don't be into that. So anyway, that was the encounter with the angel. That was the encounter. I've had several others as well. We saw one at the beach. There was just a lot of different things, and just so much I could share. Thank you, Justice. There's so much I could share with you guys, because he been so faithful. You know how you have so much, and you're like, what else do I pick like that? I thank God. There was a time I was dating another person. This was before this person. There was a time I was dating this person. I was with them for like 3 years off and on, back when I was a teenager, into like before I turned 20, like 20. Yeah, I think from like 17 to 20 I dated them, and I got saved when I was like 21 or whatever. 20 and a half, going on 21, but most of the 21 is when I took it more seriously, and I'll be 32 or whatever. So I was with this person. They were selling drugs and doing them, and I was the type of person, thank God, and got hooked on like cocaine and weed and all that stuff, because I would be around people like that. Not all. I was around some really smart, good people. Like, there was people I dated that was jocks, or they was into school, or they were nerdy, but a lot of them were like street guys or whatever. And this one was, I told you guys, I shared a testimony about him, but he was with me and other girls. We used to fight a lot. That's another thing with some of my relationships, a lot of abuse. But I'm the type of person, I won't take the abuse. Like, I will pick up something and hit you quick. I did it one time to my ex. Thank God he didn't have to go to the hospital. I bust a bottle over his face in the middle of an argument. Like, I almost broke his windshield, his car. Like, I was that type of person. I would just zone out, because I was dealing with so much anger and rage and stuff, and God has delivered me a lot from that. And like, even sometimes, like, if I feel like myself going there, I really have to pray and like calm down, and things like that, and really remember it's not physical, it's spiritual. So anyway, I remember this time I was with this person. We were going to get a room or whatever, and for some reason, he like, okay, he wanted to do what he wanted to do, but I was trying to talk and have a moment or whatever. And he just started getting really aggressive because he would be on this stuff. He would be mixing stuff and he'll be zoning in and out, which that's spiritual also. And I got really mad at him and I started yelling and talking loud. And he was like, calm down, they can hear us next door. And I was like, I don't give up, and I'm going off on him, not provoking him. He was provoking me the whole time. And he just started laughing, this evil laugh, and I was crying. He was laughing, I was crying. He was a narcissist. And I was like, what are you laughing at? I'm being serious. I'm tired of all this. Da-da-da-da-da. And when you're not saved, you're dealing with soul ties, you're dealing with demonic spirits, you're dealing with covenants, you're dealing with so many things. So the enemy have a legal right. And you be looking at it like it's physical, but you don't even know it's more spiritual. So that's why I take this walk seriously, because it is very spiritual, and I thank God for to deliver me from. But anyway, he ended up choking me. He had never did this before. We would tussle and fight, and I mostly be whatever, but this night he ended up choking me to where I almost passed out and I could have died. And he was laughing. I was crying. I was like, please stop. And I felt myself like slipping away. And I don't know if I said the name of the Lord or what, or please, but I stopped saying please to him because I realized he wasn't going to stop. I think when I said please, I was saying it in my heart to the Lord, like, please have mercy on me. And he stopped. And I was so like, he was choking me so bad. When I fell to the floor, I slumped. All my energy was out of me. And I don't know like how I came back or how long I was out. But he was sitting on the bed or doing whatever he was doing. Because me, like with the things, I wouldn't be like into smoking. I tried it once and I didn't like it. And I said I would never do it, and I never did. But I would be a big drinker. So I'd be into that. I could be around people that was doing, but I just, whatever. So when I did get up, it's like God, it's like his spirit was telling me like, you need to leave him alone. You need to leave. Either you need to leave. And I was like, I'm leaving. I paid for the room, because he'll pay for things. But mostly no, he'll pay for things mostly. But in this case, I had paid for it because he was just coming home or whatever. And he left. God caused him to leave. They were like worried about it next door. They called the cops, thank God. And they came to the room. They was like, either you both have to go because you're causing disruptions, at the motel. Or they was like, and they was looking at me. They saw like I was crying and picking up stuff, because when I had got up, I had started just destroying stuff in the room, and I tried to like hit him, and he was like laughing. He was looking at me so demonish, like, now you're trying to hit me, but I almost killed you. And I saw something was wrong with that, because it wasn't funny, and just different things that he would go through. Just different things he would go through that I hear, like how like judgment and different things came on him. Like he got shot a couple times and beef with people and different things, and like I don't know, like he but anyway, he ended up leaving, and I called my cousin, and I was just crying, and she said on the phone with me, and I was so in fear, and I had been dealing with that spirit of fear for so long, for years, from a child, so I was so terrified. I was like, I hope he don't come back, or what if he come back when I'm asleep, because he telling me he gonna come back, and I'm like, I don't want him to come back when I'm sleeping. He choked me, and she was like, it's okay, I'll stay on the phone with you, I can come pick you up, or I'll just come get you in the morning. And I think she did. And he called, his uncle called or whatever the next morning. It was like, oh, he's sorry, he was bugged out, he didn't mean it. I didn't want to hear that, but anyway, we were together for a little while longer, and then God separated that relationship. There's just so many stories. There was another instance with him. He came and picked me up, and he had I don't want to use that word, but anyway, he had somebody that he wasn't supposed to be selling things to, and this person was very addicted, and he had hit their car, because like with that, they got different houses, they got different cars, they got different things or whatever, and we were supposed to go to his house. He had a house out west, supposed to go to his house, and we were using his car. He came and got me. And he ended up going to the room first. He was going to get more stuff to just have or whatever. And The man ended up waking up out of whatever he was in, and he was like, where are you going? You promised me this, and you didn't. He was trying to play him and me at the same time. He was trying to play him. So he was like, hurry up, go, let's get in the car or whatever. But the man ended up coming with us. He was like, oh no. He was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not letting you drive my car until you this, that, the third. So the man is in the back seat. I'm in the front seat, and he's driving his car. And let me sit up. And when he got out the car to go to a little stop or whatever, the man was back there crying. He was sweating and he was crying, but it's like I could identify with his cry because it was a cry of I'm tired. And I knew about those cries from me being, when I would be by myself, I knew them cries. So I looked up at his, the mirror in the middle of the car or whatever. And he had like a cross chain or whatever. And I said, you're a Christian now, mind you, I'm not even saved. But it's like it's just like the Lord was like, look, minister to him. So I was like, are you a Christian? And he was like, I was when I was younger, and that had caught my attention. And he was like, my family is praying for me. I was like, why won't you go to rehab? I was like, why are you letting him do this? And he was looking at me shocked, like, oh, this is supposed to be your boyfriend. I would think that you would encourage this. So I was like, no, I'm not encouraging it, because it was my first time that he had ever left me around somebody like that, which I really wouldn't be around him like that, because I'll be working, and I was in school at the time too. But like when we chilled or whatever, plus he was a little bit older than me, not too much older, but I went around him like that. So I was around him, but not like every day, because I had my friends will go to the mall, be going to get my nails, and I'll be working, I'll just be doing my own little thing or whatever. So I was telling him, like, you need to go to rehab. I don't know why I said this to the man, but I was like, Jesus loves you, and I was like, and he got a great plan for your life. This is what I told this man. Yeah, I was telling him that